is annoying.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com, which I didn't put in my description below out of laziness today. So sorry about that. Hopefully you can spell my name and go over there and sign up for my newsletter anyway. If you haven't already done so, you probably already have if you're here. Let's be honest. I don't know. There's new people who show up on this stuff, right? I got to keep thinking there's new people, Brian.
It's to be hoped.
It's to be hoped. Yeah. Hey, Carl. Hey, Boba Drinker. Hey, P. Alexander. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Love it when everybody says hello. Hit the like button. Share all the stuff. Get things going. I'm just going to filibuster until we get a few more people here before we get into the fun stuff. Drake's. Oh, there it is. Delarose.com. There it goes. It took a while to come up on StreamYard. I saw it on the YouTube side of things, but it didn't show up on StreamYard for some reason. Hey, Electric Barbarella 27. I want to get you back on here. My favorite cosplayer of all time. She's a sweetie. So she's great. Even though I try not to allow women on here.
Beast.
I say that and then I invite women on here like constantly. So, but people want to watch chicks. They don't want to watch us, Brian.
Well, there's the real pandemic is the simp pandemic.
The simp pandemic, yeah. Oh, it made things worse. I think like everybody being locked in their houses on the internet made the simping thing like 100 times. It was like it's exponential.
Why is that? Do you think? Got a theory?
Just dudes who are thirsty at home. They're not really going out. They're not really meeting anybody and forming any connections. So they just get addicted to porn and then get addicted to the next level, which is, oh, not only that, but maybe she'll even say hi to me after I fap. Like it's just really, it's pathetic,
Yeah, I love how you stuck that in there because that is the thought process. Yeah,
that is the thought process.
It's almost like those by design. It's almost like that's exactly what somebody wanted. I don't know.
There's a lot of weird things that have come out of the pandemic that are definitely evil, definitely satanic, and definitely pushing the culture in a very weird, creepy direction. I think that's just a side effect. That's a plus. And yes, Electric Barbarella is not one of those women. This is very true. She doesn't have an OnlyFans. I wouldn't be talking to you, obviously. So that's obvious. All right. But I think the main goal was to disconnect people from each other, people from the body, right, and to shut down churches and to make that sort of community, their communal aspect, go away rather, and be out of the zeitgeist completely for over a year. I think everything else is a nice side effect from that, but I think that was the intended spiritual goal of this.
No doubt. Although we do have some silver linings, like because everything in America, every mass movement either turns into a corporation, a racket, or a cult.
Yes.
The COVID deal turned into all three. So these like masketeers, these COVIDians out there. And,
I know.
It became just an outward sign of piety. It was like burning a pinch of incense. It was virtue signaling, right? So now that the mask mandates are lifted, the people who continue to wear them are easily identifiable. It's like a badge, so you can tell who to avoid.
It is. I was seeing somebody on a Discord chat earlier going, our mask mandates up, but I'm still wearing them, and people are looking at me strange now. They're the strange ones. It's like, no, they're not. It's not natural to put a piece of cloth over your face so you can't freaking breathe. It's not.
Nope.
Oh, well. Hey, Bradford, welcome to the chat. Glad you're here.
You
wrote a lovely blog where you took some screenshots, which I'm going to pull from right now, which is going to be kind of the main deal. I just want to dunk on these people who have just been giving me hell for, how long has it been now? 17, 18, 19, 20, 5 years?
Yeah.
These people are still around. They've all blocked me on Twitter. But they're still there. They all talk about me nonstop. So they love to be in their little echo chambers to where they don't get questioned about anything. And then they
Well,
come
now
up with these
normally-
bizarre theories because of
Well,
that.
Normally, I would have reservations about this, but you legally
I legally
have
won.
a right to do
Mhm.
this. So by all means, you get to indulge yourself.
It's so
earned it.
exciting.
It is. You earned it. Go on.
Now all
Revel.
these people are going on. I'm eating a protein bar. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be eating
You're
while
gonna
doing
need
it.
it.
I'm just freaking starving.
You're going to need that. Protein helps us play.
It does. But now I've been working out really hard, guys. Every day. I've been doing this. I've not missed. I hit the gym 3 days a week, and then I play tennis 2 days a week, and I've not missed a single day in about 2.5 months. So I'm in like my peak physical condition. I've still got like a little bit of pudge, but I'm in solid physical condition despite that. The fat doesn't just disappear that fast. But it's exciting. But I actually played tennis yesterday morning for my practice, and then in the evening I played 3 sets of tennis after working, and I that's a lot. I didn't realize like how much that is a strain on the body, but I did it and it was awesome. And so I'm trying to like get my recovery going, little protein bars and all that, and that's how it goes. As you get older, you gotta be more perfect with your diet and exercise and all that. It's all about bettering ourselves here.
Yeah, I'm learning that the hard way as well.
Have you jumped on the train yet and like followed all the Manosphere and started working out all the time, Brian?
Not all the time. I like to say I was an early adopter, but really I've kept to a pretty consistent workout regime since about 2004, and just reasonable dieting. So like within a couple, I don't want to say a couple months, but a few months of starting that, I lost like 30 pounds. And
beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. I largely maintained that. But then, your metabolism slows down as age creeps up on you. So I've had to further adjust and just like go, okay, I got to cut out more calories. I've got to really put the screws to it.
The tough part is when you kind of hit that plateau, and then you got to get to the next level, and then you really want to get to the next level. I'm like working hard on it on the exercise side, but on the diet side, like it's like the Mayweather fight's on. I'm gonna have a couple glasses of wine, and then it just even though that's only like 300 or 400 calories different, I just don't drop for the entire next week because I did that, and it's just like you have to be perfect. That's the hard part.
You slip up once, and it sets you back a week or two. It's crazy.
It's terrible. So, hello, SC Vincent. Nice words for Brian Niemeyer. Brian Niemeyer is a good guy, and he gives me lots of great advice too. He's good. Yeah, I 100% agree.
All right, that guy didn't give the glory to God. What?
Beautiful.
What about DJ? Is DJ not? Is the stream not loading?
Might not be for him, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's his internet.
I don't know.
But yeah, DJ's cool. I actually got to meet DJ, so that's fun.
Nice. And his avatar there is his BAM from one of my Comet Frame Exceed Indiegogos. So
awesome.
Represent.
Nordic Warrior, Simple Jack. Lord Vinatra is streaming. Come check out a real show. Cecil fan art. I'm trying to cut down. I like Vinatra though, even though I'm not supposed to, I guess. But he's cool. He's my friend. So unlike these people.
Oh yeah.
Here's my transition. Unlike these people, I like Vinatra. I do not like these people. I don't know who Lydia Nickerson is. So you cut out a little bit. You didn't go. Maybe we should just pull up their Twitters and see these whole threads, because they went on crazy threads, just whining and wailing and gnashing teeth and trying to claim it wasn't a real victory. That was pretty fun. But you pulled up right here. I also worry about that. If you cannot enforce your code of conduct, you should not have one. I'd love to have a convention without a code of conduct. That'd be kind of nice.
Hey, don't threaten us with a good time.
Yeah, I know, right? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Oh man, the code of conduct culture. Vox has gone off about that at length. It's like the minute these companies start to adopt code of conducts with their like little nebulous BS in it, they They just go downhill from that point forward. There's a large probability that similar situations will come up in the future. They haven't exactly set a good example for a firm hand in handling them. What they're missing the takeaway, Brian. The takeaway is you shouldn't ban normal people for existing, and for a couple of people going on message boards and gossiping about them, and you shouldn't libel people as racist on your fucking website. That's the takeaway.
Yeah, the next part, Jim C. Hines' contribution here, though, is the punchline.
It is. Here we go. Now, Jim C. Hines has spent years harassing me. He's made a website about he's got like a shrine website to me called John Della Rosa's History of Trolling and Harassing. He doesn't appreciate the irony that he literally made a website shrine dedicated to me and my tweets to troll and harass me. But that is what he does. I had no idea who this guy was. I was like, why is this Jim C. Hines guy stalking me? Never heard of him in my life. Turns out he just is just a really petulant, evil person, and that's that. So, and that's not libel, because that's not like an actionable thing where I'm defining what that means. But yes, Jim, I wish you would stop that and knock that off, because you got that website and it's really upsetting. Because I'm a nice guy, and if you want to come on here and tell your side of the story anytime, Jim, because we're fair here, I would happily do so. But you got me blocked, so you were talking smack about me on Twitter behind a block, which is about the most chicken shit, low T, soy shit you could do. So here we go. Seems like the takeaway is when banning trolls, harassers, and other problem children from your event, keep any public statement as brief and factual as possible.
Wait a minute. What's that an admission of? Hold on.
That's libel?
I think so. So by let's do a little reverse engineering on what he said there. You don't have to give people advice to keep their comments factual unless they're not. Unless they're lying.
Correct. Yes. And this is the whole crux of all this thing. All that these guys do, including Jim C. Hines, is that they try to invent these personas about people they don't like that aren't factual, and they try to dehumanize and destroy people constantly. And that's all they do online all day long. And it's just like, take your own advice, bro. But
I've called these guys a cult for years, and the thing about a cult is cults can survive just fine without a deity. Okay.
Yes.
What they absolutely need to live is a devil. And that's exactly how these guys operate. They troll for a participant from the crowd to don the devil horns, get pelted by rotten fruit, and their morality plays. And if you decide not to play along, then they just go backstage and burn you in effigy.
Yes.
That's what they're doing to you.
That is what they're doing. It's very bizarre. It's real. I don't know. It's creepy. I don't want Jim's attention. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. I can't even get a nice. You can kind of zoom in close enough, I think, but I don't want. Nobody wants this guy's attention. I guess that's the problem inherent in this. So, yeah, very sad. All right. So, thank you for writing this beautiful blog. I will put this in the chat if people want to read Brian's analysis. Brian gives very wonderful written analysis on topics every single day on his blog, and he is highly recommended reading. So do check that out. All right.
Yeah. Gonna reciprocate feelings mutual.
Moving towards what's that?
Just sentiments mutual, buddy.
Thank you. I kind of quit blogging. The last I think since a little bit Easter time, about maybe a little before that. I found I was just getting more views live streaming and doing 5-minute videos on stuff. So I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
Why would I wake up in the morning and think and write a nice little treatise for less people to read?
Do it
when I could just do this. And not only that, but the ad revenue on this is pretty much better than anything I can get off of a blog. So I've just kind of transitioned towards that, and it's just easier on me. And that way I can spend more time writing comic books and things like that. Because I really hate writing nonfiction stuff.
Yeah,
I
you're
really do. But we got a lot of tweets. I've got JDA Worldcon up here, and I had to go on my little fake sock account here so I can look at this and without all these people who blocked me. But Glenn Stewart, who is the author of Starships Mage and multiple SFF series with he/him pronouns, in case you were wondering. Oh, housekeeper for cats. What's it with the cats and then pronouns?
Mm-hmm.
May I have a cat, but I don't make my life the cat.
Well, it's because dogs are inherently right-wing. That's why. A cat can go either way.
Interesting.
Yeah, dogs are ours.
A world science fiction statement on JDA in San Jose. Welp, definitely not going to Worldcon this year. All the USA ones might be off the radar too. Well, he's stunning and brave.
Bold.
Yeah. I think the reality is he can't afford to go to Worldcon as the author of the Starship Mage. And so he gets to do a little virtue signal pretending that he's doing it for a purpose. That's pretty weak.
Well, Worldcon can't afford to go to Worldcon anymore, thanks to you.
That's very true. Now, there is a Worldcon going on in December in Washington, D.C. I've got winnings from this. I could use that settlement money to go to Worldcon, but I also don't want to give them money.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I think part of me would think it'd be fun to live stream from there. And I think it'd be just ironic and silly. But part of me goes, because then I'm gonna have to be around people who look like Jim C. Hines. And I don't. Yeah. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you guys think that I should go to Worldcon in December in Washington, D.C., or would it be enjoyable for the lulz? So I'd wear my Make Science Fiction Fun Again hat and my Castalia House T-shirt, and I'd just roll around there and just kind of just like be smug and smirking. But I wouldn't bother. Here's the thing that they don't get. I wouldn't bother anybody, right? I mean, I don't want to talk to Jim C. Hines,
Okay. It's baffling. It can be baffling to civilized men like us in the chat, but we're not dealing with civilized men. We are dealing with primitive,
right,
Stone Age cargo cultists who believe that the improperly spoken, the forbidden words, right? There are hex signs that can cause milk to spoil and crops to fail. It will anger Gaia and melt the polar ice caps, right? They really believe that's not much of an exaggeration.
No, it's true.
So they must, and they have this corporate idea of salvation. So they must purge all heretics from their ranks. And that is why they actually do believe that any contrary speech is violence. It causes them physical pain.
Interesting. So far, we've got one go. Mr. Solomon says, "Go wear a body cam." That's really funny. And then Improby says, "Deny them your presence." Drake's in the middle. Drake's a fence sitter here. Don't be a fence sitter, Drake.
Hey, get off your chain link lawn chair.
Just meet up at the bar. That's true. I could go and not actually pay for their convention and just hang out at the hotel bar as a patron of the hotel. That doesn't bother me. And that would trigger them just as much. But then again, I have to go all the way to Washington, D.C. for that. And I got kids and stuff. It's just kind of like if I was 24 or 25 and I just had nothing to do, I would totally do 100% be in. I'd be, but I got to think about it now, go and represent your work. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I am a firm believer in camping and taking my space and saying the line must be drawn here and this far and no further and not backing down. One of the big things that got me about the Sad Puppies, Brian, was the fact that they they tried to get their awards. They put it out there. They really wanted awards for themselves. And as soon as it was clear that they weren't getting awards for themselves, they're like, we take our ball and we're going home. And then they just like stopped the fight. And then when anybody else tried to take up the fight, like Declan Finn, they just tried to like smash him for attempting to make a Hugo slate. And it's like, why would you do that? Like the whole point was to have an alternative out there. And it's like those it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. Like you get these election districts too, like even on the like main political side. Like, it's like maybe the district's like 70-30, but if you don't put up any opposition, I mean, it's going to be 100-0, right?
Right. Yeah.
What do you
get a lot of,
I don't know.
You get a lot of binary thinkers out there, right? Because
there
is an epidemic of intellectual vice. Okay, people are lacking intellectual virtue, which greatly degrades the precision of their thoughts.
Yes.
That's where we get this purity spiraling, right? Like, oh, if you go, you're giving money to people who hate you, but if you don't go, you're ceding ground. Well, there's a middle path here. So there's a middle path. You could hold a meetup at the bar, like you said.
Correct.
Try to get like a press pass out of them. Like I went to Gen Con one year on a press pass because I was with a podcast.
Yeah.
Right. There are ways to go for free where you don't pay them. So just find
I mean, I could use one of my media outlets I have contacts with and ask for a press pass, but they'd know. So I'm unfortunately I'm a name that they know.
Well, then you might have something else. Like, then they're discriminating.
This is a great point. A hotel bar is beneath your Napa Valley taste. This is a great point. I do have standards.
Clearly.
A lot of folk want to be at a con, can't afford it, buy a ticket and go camp at the bar and meet folks there. Yeah, interestingly enough, Bradford, those are actually probably the people who are more the readers who would actually be interested in checking out a work or something like that also. So that's a thought. But again, it's like I have to fly to Washington. Like San Jose was one thing because it was like I could drive down there. It takes me 25 minutes to get there, right? Washington, D.C. is like a fly across the country. And I don't like Washington, D.C. If it was in Nashville, I'd be there.
Well, that shows you're well adjusted.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough. It's a tough. Do I do it for the lols? Hey, Raul, welcome. Take a food truck. That's true. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of nice restaurants in Washington D.C. because all the little elites can't eat like the plebes do, right?
Of course not. They can't sell themselves.
Gotta have some very nice restaurants there. So I don't know. Rabbit puppies were the most fun. Yeah, it was pretty funny. It'd be funny if I showed up. That's the thing. I love being funny. And that's what these guys can't comprehend. They're so, this Lydia person who you actually put on your blog, they're so dead serious and myopic about everything. They almost can't function. If Worldcon was certain to lose, why did JDA settle? Yeah, well.
This person has no idea how anything works or what's going on. See,
I got the apology I wanted, Lydia. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, the reason he settled for $4,000 is that was the most he could get, because if he would have pursued it further, like basically, okay, are you guys familiar with the term judgment proof?
Right.
That's where you're so poor, the court knows you will never pay.
And that's kind of where we're at. Like, so, yeah. I mean, our ask was for 100 because I think that was fair for the amount of like damage that they did to my reputation over the course of this. But they're like, we don't have 100, and I'm like, and then we're like, okay, we'll do 50. And they're like, well, we don't have 50. And I'm like, okay, well, your court costs in this are going to be 20. And they're like, well, we can scrape together like 4. And that was about it. I'm dead serious. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
So it's not like I sued some major corporation or whatever. These are just idiots who got together and tried to make a convention and then ran it poorly. Keep running it into the ground. This year's Worldcon is really, I've done some videos on this. I mean, they've been a train wreck. Like their hotels screwed up. They did their shit where they where they made some statement about Tony Weisskopf and took her off the programming. I mean, like, first they came for me, then they came for Tony Weisskopf. And I'm not a big fan of Tony Weisskopf. She hasn't treated me very nicely over the years. But she's the freaking head of Baen Books, and Baen is like a huge chunk of science fiction publishing. Don't be idiots. Oh, well.
Yeah. The only reason that people whose worldview is so divorced from reality have been able to maintain their illusions is because no one's introduced them to reality. No one's given, like, everyone keeps enabling them because what did I see recently? Like Andy Ngo, the reporter who was like, the man reporting from inside Antifa, right? Was recently threatened, and why doesn't he sue them? Because all you'd have to do, it would take one judge, right, to part the veil and show us who's funding them.
Yes.
And they'd be over, like, overnight, Antifa would be gone. But conservatives never do that. They never fight back.
It's kind of crazy. I saw, there's been so many like little threatened lawsuits or lawsuits that didn't go anywhere and things like that. And I always watch them get media attention, and it's like mine got a little bit, but should have probably gotten more. And it always surprises me. I don't know. I also feel like conservatives fall for the grift more than actually going for like the things that actually like will be a moral victory, Yeah,
like Matt Walsh raising $100,000 for AOC's grandma.
Oh my God, Brian, why?
Do you know what you or I could do with that money? Or heck, anyone, what Bradford Walker could do with that? Do they know how many? This ties into conservatives just being so practical to a fault that they don't understand that the way the left won the culture war was through culture. Lo and behold,
I'm going to be principled and I'm going to give AOC money. It's like, wait, what? I mean, it's technically her grandma, right? But that's her family. That means it's her deal. So, and don't tell me she can't spend 50, 100 grand with her prominence as a congresswoman, or she's getting her pockets lined like none other. There's nobody out there and she'll shake you down if you don't line her pockets. She's that type.
Yeah, and it keeps happening. Like when everybody forgets, but Jack Posobiec donated to the Heather Heyer Fund.
Yes.
They keep doing it.
They love doing this so they can golf clap for themselves.
Yeah, because at heart, they want to be liked and respected by a death cult.
Yeah.
That's all you really need to say.
It is all you need to say. We can end the stream there. But I'm not going to, because I have stuff to show, Brian.
Okay, go ahead.
Before I go too far into the tweets, which I really haven't even gotten into yet, I have a brand new book out. It's called The Dryad Queen. It's by Morgan Newquist and me. Let's see. Morgan, kids are here, and Russell is at the office. She can't come on right now. It's too bad.
I love those guys.
That's all right. They are wonderful people. And so this is the first book I ever successfully co-wrote. I've attempted to do several co-writes in the past. Who have I done that? So I've brainstormed a couple with some people who weren't pro authors. So I'm not going to name them. My first attempt was actually with a author or with a writer for a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode, and we were pitching a Star Trek book to Simon and Schuster, and I'm like, I'm in there and I'm like, this is an actual writer from the show, and I can promo the hell out of shit. We'll do this. And Simon and Schuster, they talked to us for a couple emails there, and then they just kind of just like let it fade. It's too bad, because we'd had a good book. Yeah. But every time after that, like, I attempted to start writing stuff, and it's just like, where do you break down the co-writing lines, and like where do you get things going? It's always failed every single time. Is that you got to have somebody who's just like goes with the flow, I guess, is on one end, unless you're like really in sync. I don't know. So Morgan is great, and Morgan and I are pretty in sync, I guess. And we were able to do this. We split the writing 50-50. We have 4 different perspective characters, so we each took 2 of them, and it worked out really nice. But what we did is we wanted to do a traditional fantasy where there's a bad guy, he's bad. There's good guys who are good. Pretty simple. And it's got elves for P. Alexander. He loves elves. I put in elves just for you, P. Alexander. It's got dwarves who hide in their little cave with their little gold, which is totally not an allegory for anything. Just saying. And then, so that sort of thing. So we wanted to do that, and we got the main villain's a necromancer who's raising this undead army to just try to snuff out life. And this goes to my whole like Steve Ditko sort of deal. You start to read into his philosophy and all that. There's life, and then there's anti-life, and that's kind of like it's kind of what we're dealing with Worldcon. They are the anti-life, and we are the life. And so all of this plays very well thematically. And then I put a nice fantasy allegorical version of the Catholic Church in here also, and they're good, and the priests are good. Because that needs to be stated in culture at this point. Representation matters, right, Brian?
Yeah. There's no evil church of evil. There's no self-congratulatory post-enlightenment. Well, we've evolved beyond fairy tales.
We've evolved beyond religion. Yeah, screw that. Oh my gosh!
It's not a dragon. You see, it's an extremely large terrestrial reptile derived from an iguana, which happens to produce like natural methane in its system. So you're saying it's a giant lizard as big as a 747 and breathes fire, but it's not a dragon.
Yeah. Why do they work so hard to like pretend that their tropes aren't tropes?
Well, they have to destroy all tradition because
that's all it is.
Any limit. Yeah. Well, here's why. Because they absolutize freedom per se, which they define as the unrestricted ability to pursue personal preferences. Any external limit on the expression of those preferences, even reality and laws of physics, is seen as an arbitrary tyranny, an oppression.
Yes.
Okay. So they have to destroy any rules, any standards, any traditions. They can't be bound by anything.
But there was a code of conduct, and apparently I violated it.
Well, wait, how could you violated it if you didn't get to go?
I know, right? Doesn't that not make sense too? And that's what they said. They intending on violating the code of conduct. So they divined what I was intending somehow by not even talking to me. And that's how when I have a normal dispute with somebody and I've got a problem, like if I had a problem with you, Brian, I saw some tweet of yours. This didn't actually happen. But if I saw a tweet of yours and it was like, it seemed like a subtle dig at me or something like that, and it was just like, oh ho ho, leading Hispanic who or something. I don't know, but not like you do that. But if you did, I would like. The first thing I'd do is I'd DM you and I'd be like, hey Brian, what's up with this? And then you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I was actually talking about, this, like, I don't know, Mexican dude in taco making, And I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it now. I wouldn't go out there and like make a blog and be like, Brian is dead to me and he's banned from everything. That's just like such a insane reaction when you don't know the reality of what's going on. And that's how crazy these people act.
Yeah, like if I were to call you, I don't know, a Twinkie scub, and you were to call me a McNugget scoon, we would have it out like adults.
Yes, be fun. So we need some more drama. So we could start a fake fight. There's nothing to fight about, Brian, though. Raymond, thanks for the super chat. If only I hadn't forgotten my Make Science Fiction Fun Again hat during that one Gen Con. Well, Gen Con, I think, is canceled again this year. Am I right about that? I think I saw that. But you can wear it next year.
They're doing the online only.
Online only gaming convention for board games. That doesn't work. Sorry. Well, that's the whole point. Yeah, they're talking about trying to do something and like, limit actual gaming between people and stuff like that. And it's just like, the whole point is so I can go there and I can sit in those halls in the middle of the night and like join a pickup game and have a jolly time with some random people, and
You are
just
jolly.
right. So that that kills the point of the conventions. They love killing the point of their conventions, though.
Yeah, how is it that Worldcon in a blue state or district, I suppose, is having an in-person get-together, whereas DragonCon in a red state can't? That's odd.
It's really weird. But LibertyCon also shut down this year, and it's like it's in Chattanooga.
Yeah,
it's like Chattanooga is not going. There's going to be no problem there. But I mean, I heard about it and I was like, that's weird. And then apparently, like, there were just some people like being Karens about, well, if they're not wearing a mask and blah 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 blah, and talking about suing them. It's like, if you're scared of getting a freaking cold, don't go. Like, it's not their deal. But they just, they're a little deal, they're a little outfit, and they just don't want to deal with that. And I get it. And that sucks that they get to be pressured into that by these Karens.
So do you think Skulls is going to win his second dragon then?
Yeah, I think so. Because does Scalzi have a new book? Has he been writing? Or can he literally not even still?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I might have squeezed one out.
I don't know.
But if it's all online voting again.
All online, yeah. That's what we got.
I suppose
I'll mail in ballots. Yeah.
Exactly. If the main like attendance of Gen Con thinks, oh, well, there's no con, and they just lose interest in general, like happened last year. Yeah. And they get the American Library Association or somebody to.
That's right. N.K. Jemisin will probably end up winning this year. That's the problem with any of these sort of like major event sort of things, is that they can always find a way to make it so that the main publishers will just sneak in. Brian won his award, and then really the year I got nominated was the last year you could really just like sneak in as an indie. I feel like, so it's over. Yeah. But I just stopped caring about awards. I mean, like it was fun. I like to get it on my resume a little bit, but once you win one, you just go award winning on your bio, and then that's all you do. But I found it didn't really, the Dragon Nom didn't really boost sales very much. I mean, it did a little bit. And I think they've been boosting sales less and less. Even when Brad Torgerson won, I mean, I looked at his chart numbers and they were just not that high. So, I mean, they got the Sad Puppies got what they wanted, their little award. And now it's back to the establishment again, because they're not trying anymore. They weren't real warriors for this whole deal.
Well, at least Galaxy's Edge keeps winning consistently.
That's true.
Like that definitely broke out.
It did. Raul, thank you for the super chat. Unveiling the name of the Ray Gun Romance this Friday. Ray Gun Romance is a great genre title. I love it.
Yeah, it's got legs.
So that's all the things that are happening around the world right now, I guess. Do you got anything fun, right, Brian? What's going on in your life?
I am busy. So honestly, I am thankful that your win gave us a chance to kind of take a step back, surface, take a breath, decompress, have some laughs.
I didn't know that. Did Torgerson totally bow out? Hasn't posted on what, Facebook?
He might be on deployment. He might not be able to.
He might not be able to. That's a good point.
Because the military is doing long quarantines and stuff if you're going overseas, where you're basically cut off from the world.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, he's always had that issue where he is forced to disappear for a long periods of time. It's too bad. He's a talented writer. He actually has very good talent, and very interesting concepts that are on the bizarre side.
Always been cool to me.
Yeah, maybe it's not been cool to me, but I still hail his talent. So I appreciate when somebody's got the real deal.
Yeah.
Few and far between these days.
But yeah, right now I'm working hard on fulfillment for my last Indiegogo campaign.
And you crushed that, didn't you?
Yeah, it was record shattering. So one for XE yeah, thanks. We'll talk about your success in a second, but as the appetizer, as a warm up, yeah, XC became my fastest past the post. We met our first goal in like 3 hours, and then met the second stretch goal or met the first stretch goal, second goal in the first day. And then at the end, it did beat all the others to become the highest funded campaign of mine and the first one to break 5 figures.
Beautiful. 5 figures on a book is no joke. You guys have seen a lot of comic book things. But you can charge quite a bit for a comic book. I mean, just because like art costs are art costs, so it's doable. But you cannot charge all that much for books. So I mean, there's ways to have some nice tiers also. But it just shows that Brian is crushing it, and it's awesome. Love to hear that he's breaking 5 figs.
Thanks. It comes a lot. That means a lot coming from you, especially since your wonderful comic Base Bolt is like it's what 2.5 times mine. Yeah.
I told everybody I'd fulfill that yesterday. Whoops. I got busy.
Well, there you go. You've now given an excuse. Ship, but if you can't ship, explain why. Right.
Well, it's just gonna be I'll just get it out when I'm done with the stream here instead. It's done.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Ooh,
but
can't wait to get mine.
pretty excited. Well, this won't the shipping won't be done. I do the digital first, and then I let it percolate for like a week, and then usually what happens is like one or two people go, I saw this kind of weird dialogue or typo, and then I fix it before I go to print, and that's my secret for having less typos, because I'm bad. I can't even see them. I read through my own work, and I just like I read over it, and I know what I intended to say, so I think my brain just replaces it. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
I can't even see it. Yeah.
It seriously happens.
Sucks.
But no, I do the same thing. I just released the all new Comet Frame XC short story that I promised as a first stretch goal at the beginning of the month. And today I'm putting the finishing touches on the Classified Intel anthology, which collects every XC short story, including the new one. Plus, I've got some nice little tidbits and extras for you guys, because I wanted to give you something more than just pre-published material, right? So there's some number 4 published background goodies in there. And that ebook will be to backers this week, and then I'll get started on the paperback, which takes a little longer.
Awesome. Yes, it does. Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Good. I read the first XC book. It's very good, people. So, but Brian's got another thing to promote, so I'll get to that in a second. And I will get to the tweets. I'm getting distracted, but it is what it is. Josh, I have not heard from you in a while, so I am happy to hear from you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. And Brian's got his book, Don't Give Money to People Who Hate You, right here. I've got this link down in the description also. And this is your primer for fighting the culture war, everybody. If that's your gig, and that's my gig, so it should be your gig if you're here, then go check it out. Support Brian, and don't support Worldcon. Simple.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Simple. All right, tweets. All right. So we got Lydia, who we already discussed. Our good friend Lydia. Is Lydia a real? I can't debate that on YouTube. I'll get banned. But okay. My favorite part of the Worldcon. Okay, so this is JDA Worldcon. Okay, that's right. They don't always like to type my name because I'm like Voldemort.
Oh, yeah.
Worldcon. So I'll just look at Worldcon. We'll go down this list of tweets. I remember when you were at Worldcon in Chicago. Okay. John is the least racist guy I know. There you go. He's right. Worldcon Insider. There's some podcast. Worldcon. What's a Worldcon Insider? There's like 10 people. I loved this one. So I know this guy, Mark Johnson. He is actually from the local author community. Why the hell did I get an email from Worldcon telling me they unbanned an author? Why did you get an email from them saying they banned an author? Was the real question. But of course, these people are not on the right page to ask the right questions. They just ask the convenient questions. Here's another one. Just got an email from WorldCon76. This is Belle the Tired. She, her, dyslexic as fuck.
That's
Love
Chick
90s.
Salted, Nudge.
Yes. I started transitioning late in life. There you go, Brian. I love all my fellow trans, including trans men, NB, and what's NB? Do you know? Non-binary. There you go. All right. Thanks, Belle, for that. Got an email from WorldCon76, which was held down the street from me, saying they settled with some dude for banning him. Dude got 4K an apology, and that made me Google him and then find out that he's calling Ari Agbanya Captain Antifa.
Probably because it's easier to pronounce.
Captain Antifa seems strictly catchier. What do you think?
Yeah. You probably mean, dude paid a lawyer for that.
Okay. So this is, if you guys missed my video, like yesterday, I think it was, Marvel is putting out some new replacement Captain America, of course, who's female, because it has to be at this point, and minority also. And she looks like Antifa. Captain America. Do I have it on here? Let me I'm on my other browser, so I can. I'm on my other browser because I'm banned because all these people have me blocked, so I wouldn't be able to read their tweets.
Who doesn't have multiple browsers nowadays?
She's literally wearing an Antifa mask and a little weird leather jacket, like she's Antifa. So she's Captain Antifa. Pretty funny. Dude paid a lawyer for that. There you go. Oh, there's a comment. Let's go find that. Oh, she's commenting on herself, of course. One like. Is it herself? No. Just checking. This isn't even winning. Now think less of this dude when I did prior to getting the email. All right, Belle. I'm sorry. Sorry, Belle. I wish you were a customer. Too bad. Womp womp. And then here's Susan Wilkes. This person's from File 770, one of their avid readers. I have a chronically near-death peace lily named Igor. What's a peace lily? Igor?
I have to look that up.
Peace lily. Peace lily. I can't understand these people. It's literally it
is a plant.
It's a plant. She has a plant, and that's her pride of her life. Politically left, unfunny and feminist. Well, you're being redundant, and that's why your writing isn't selling. Right? I talk to moths like they're cats. Team fight. She's repping evil mega corporation in the pharmaceuticals in her bio.
See, these are the people who, in a sane age, were confined to sanitariums for their and our safety.
Holy crap.
It really is remarkable.
That's remarkable. Did WorldCon actually admit to doing any wrong? Because it looks like they just threw him a bone to make him shut up. LOL. Yeah, actually, they literally said, we apologized for calling me a racist, Susan. Literally apologized. Thank you. Freaking idiot. Jim C. Hines, here he is. So he was harassed. You see, here's his blog post where he's got a shrine to me. My blog post about John De La Rosa's history has been getting more attention lately, so I updated the post with information about his WorldCon lawsuit, including his settlement demands that he actually received. Should I give him a click? See what this is?
Just be careful not to stray onto his unfortunately worded advice page.
I know. Demands include honorary unbanning, a position as a diversity and inclusion. I thought this was really funny demanding this of them.
Did you get it?
No, because they don't actually have that as a thing. But yeah, I decided to leave that out for the apology. I put that in just because I thought it was funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, diversity training for the board, paid ads for various SFF magazines, and more. He received an apology. Yes, I did.
If they granted a real quick question.
Yeah.
If they'd granted that request and said, okay, to make this go away, we will install you as our inclusivity and diversity. Yeah.
I would have
Would
done.
you've done
I
it?
would have been. I would have been the best diversity and inclusivity officer any corporation ever had.
Yeah, I have a
Ever.
feeling you would.
So that's what's crazy about this, Brian. If these people, like, I'm an energetic guy, right?
Yeah.
And if Worldcon or SIFWA was like, hey, John, we really want to have fun and we want to help sell and we want like just cool stuff to go on at our convention or within our club. Will you help us out? I'd be like, yeah, let's go. I will. I would actually put myself to work to make that happen. But instead, they just like decide to put hours and hours and hours and hours into fighting me. It's retarded. But geez, what can you do?
Okay, so what if
What
they
if?
give you that that position and you agree to it, and then like a week before showtime, before the convention, like a page or go for someone like an event planning comes to you and says, John, we're DEF CON 4 here, buddy. We've got a crisis.
Oh,
So yeah, the trans folks are demanding dilation stations
oh, geez.
near every restroom and elevator bank. However, that offends our Mid-Eastern attendee sensibilities.
Oh no!
How do we square the circle? What do we do?
Man, that's a tough choice.
Yeah, see, I'm
gonna have to go with Tranny's BTFO. Sorry.
I knew you wouldn't fail us.
Okay.
Okay,
right.
Go ahead. I just wanted.
Thank you for this handy compilation. Definitely an asshole. I don't know who this is, and they're calling me an asshole. Look at this.
Sad.
Who is this guy? What the hell is this? This guy needs to hit the gym, for one. Happy to help you with stupidities, gleefully malicious books, author of something, punch Nazis, he, him, tish, tickish, tickish. I don't know what that means. So that person's calling me an asshole on Twitter. I don't even know him. Sad. There's Valned. Hey, thank you, Valned, for sharing my videos. Love it. What else do we got? We got Pulp Archivist here talking about this whole deal. We got Discon 3. This is the current Worldcon in Washington, D.C. December 15th. That's right before Christmas. Jeez. I don't know. Sounding worse. The deal keeps getting worse, Brian. To go.
Oof.
Oh, and here's McJulie. McJulie was featured on your blog. Is all vaxxed up and ready to party. Was she featured on your blog? Maybe not. Oh no, I was quoting it this morning.
I think I like our screen capture and had reaction to that.
An actual non-racist can usually make the case they're not a racist without threatening to sue a Worldcon over it. Well, no, here's how it goes, McJulie. All vaxxed up and ready to party. Somebody says something about you that's a total lie, then you have to respond to it. The problem that you're missing is that they said something that's a total lie. You need to stop lying about people. Then she goes on to libel me too. The fact that you bothered a lawsuit tells me you are in fact a racist. Wait a minute. What? So the fact that I'm upset that somebody libeled me a racist and I wanted to do something about it because I'm not just going to sit here and take it makes me one. How's that work?
Any plaintiff in a lawsuit is wrong.
Any plaintiff in a lawsuit is wrong. Gotcha. Even a malicious filer of frivolous law. Well, the court said it. By the way, the court they tried to put in a motion that this was a frivolous lawsuit, and the court denied them. So the actual judge said this was not frivolous. Legal expert McJulie, all vaxxed up and ready to party.
By the way, in Vegas, they require that. They've required it for years.
Let's look at this person. She's got a fake avatar. So a list of pro-women, pro-immigrant, pro-earth, anti-bigotry organizations that need your support. Wait, pro-women, does that... there you go. That's who's being weird. Streisand effect, in case you didn't know. Yeah, well, that already happened years ago. You're too late on that party. I don't know. I got that email in my inbox and made me feel really pissed off at John Della Rose. What did I do? I didn't do anything, and she spelled my name wrong. I'm pissed off because that's a microaggression against Hispanics, McJulie.
You caused cognitive dissonance by subjecting her insane worldview to the reality test, and it failed.
I've never known a person to threaten a lawsuit over getting called a racist who wasn't, in fact, a racist. I didn't threaten a lawsuit. I actually filed a lawsuit, McJulie, and I won said lawsuit. The court was going to rule that I was not a racist, so Worldcon instead apologized and said, I am not a racist. There you go.
Sounds like she hangs out with a lot of litigious racists.
Weird. Right? Yeah, very bizarre.
She might want to change up your social group.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend changing up your social group. There's our friend Paul Weimer. Paul Weiner is what he is. And he's, of course, a double Hugo Award finalist. And he doesn't even do anything. It's amazing. He doesn't write shit. Writes reviews about shill books. Jeez. Lots of people sharing the PJ Media article, which I appreciate.
Well, I think he was the guy who was just admittedly reduced to silence, because I saw him break the news, right? Like he tweeted out a link to, I believe it was Gleyer's article on it.
Yeah. Oh.
And he was like, "Yeah, wow, we really can't say anything about him.
We really can't say." Yeah, because they were on Gleyer's blog over and over saying this is so stupid. JDA is gonna lose. JDA is gonna lose. JDA is gonna lose. And then when I won, they go, "Well, this isn't actually a win." Amazing. It was like the funnest thing I've seen since probably the 2016 election. Remember Kelly Stassi? She used to stalk me hard on Twitter. Like, she had a big crush on me, and she would just every single day, every single post I'd make. I mean, this is real harassment. You guys want to talk? They always talk about harassment, bullying. This woman, I had no clue who she was. She found out Worldcon banned me, and then she just came and just kept harassing me over and over and over again with tweet after tweet after tweet. It was insane. Let me see if I can pull some of those up.
Zoom in on her.
Oh, it's showing on the. It was insane, absolute stalker crazy. I was like, "What is going on here?
I hope you haven't been eating lunch, Chad. Oh,
what is wrong with this woman?
Oh no. I can think of some possible glandular conditions, but I'm not a doctor.
It was day after. I mean, I've never had somebody like just post so much hate towards me over and over and over and over again as this woman. She is like absolutely like even War Campaign, like when they were going after me hard in like the like hard, like this girl was more diligent, more stalkery than War Campaign. So that's what you gotta know right there. Holy crap.
When these people are exiled to an ice floe in the Arctic, they'll be high-fiving themselves, calling it a win because they have easy access to snow cones.
Let me see if I can pull up some of her tweets to me, because they were just like constant. John Della Rose. With top tweets. Congratulations. I was trying to be nice back. Let's see. So she did. She's one of those gift commenters, like most women. Love your response is purely deflection. So triggered, this bunch. Love that creeper puppy John keeps retweeting whatever I'm retweeting. That was not Nick Mamatas actually know in person. But okay. What does that matter, Johnny? Don't like people marching for equality? Are you racist? There you go. But Nick was defending pedophilia. Let's see. Would love to see proof. Anyone? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So always asking for proof about things and etc. There we go. Here we go. All these at me. But now, did we have to scroll back down? That's too bad. Twitter, why'd you make me do that? Where did our friend Kelly go with her face? Gosh,
just a
that was a
portrait.
fun half a year.
Yeah, that is a portrait of fanaticism.
Okay, so she was just talking about Worldcon. This wasn't even about me. Oh well. Therefore, I don't care. Deus Vult is laughably bad, and its author is the only snowflake in this saga. Worldcon's first mistake. How does he know Deus Vult is laughably bad? I haven't released it yet.
Oh, who wrote that Worldcon defeated article? Is that? Oh,
That
that's
was Bounding into Comics.
okay.
Oh, that was my video. Yeah. Okay.
No.
But Bounding into Comics also wrote one. Worldcon's first mistake was banning him in the first place. Correct. They should not have banned me because his body cam would have only put his objectively terrible behavior in constant victimhood. No, it wouldn't have, because I wouldn't have bothered anybody, but it would have protected me from people harassing me. But I wonder how this guy knows it's bad. I hope he doesn't think it's bad, for real. He doesn't think it's bad. IGG.me, maybe just went here, AT Deus Volt. What's laughably bad about this? I mean, you can't divin that from this. You got a beautiful painted cover by Jesse White, which just has really nice detail. I mean, really nice detail. Excellent detail. Excellent detail. We got a beautiful variant cover by Miss Sashi, which has excellent detail. Gotta say. That's for my furred friends. Very diverse. And then you have like this beautiful like 70s art that like looks like freaking John Buscema drew it. So I don't know who this guy is. Mr. BLM synthwave album guy. You sound edgy. He sounds edgy. There you go. That's that. Oh, this is a friend. Yeah. I don't want to like tweets from my fake account though. I'm gonna do it on my real account.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a fake account, be smart about it, people. Right? I adored that Worldcon. People were incredibly nice. Is this going to be about this? American friends, if you were financial people. Okay. Happy people from PJ Media reading this. Happy people. We're on the 7th. John De La Rose, national. Oh, this guy. That's right. I was suspended and I couldn't reply to this guy. That makes me happy. He wants me on a radio show. I would love to go on a radio show.
I think it'd be good.
Worldcon apologizes and pays the piper in their settlement. That's very nice. Hey, who was Bounding into Comics? Thanks, Bounding into Comics. They're great.
Yeah, they are.
Fags for Trump. Thanks, Fags for Trump. Look at that. Fags for Trump are for me. I should phrase that better. All right, PJ Media took over at this point, but before PJ Media did it, that's when our fun tweets came. I'm trying to get to there. I'm sorry I'm like boomering on this. What can you do? There's too many tweets.
Isn't that the whole problem?
Well, at least I got shared by a lot of good people. That makes me kind of happy.
Count your blessings.
Let's see. I would not want to run a Worldcon. Where are we here? This looks like a fun thread. I want to know why Worldcon keeps setting supporting member. Oh, people whining that it costs too much. Okay. There you go. Nazis should explode and die, though. Okay. Are there any Nazis at all?
I really don't think so.
Yeah. So most people are just complaining about Worldcon's prices because it is worthless. PG Media mocked me in one of my tweets. Yeah, that's right, Paul. You suck. He's a little bitch who talks about me all the time behind a block too. I hate that. I have no respect for that. If you want to block me, just shut up. Seems reasonable.
Well, that's the problem.
All right, Megan's stuff just went too viral, which is a good thing. But let's see. How dare he get a settlement from Worldcon for discriminating against him politically? That's funny. Oh, here we go. Now we're into the fun stuff. All right. Sorry, guys. That took me forever to get down to these tweets, but we are now there. But we actually have more people now that I've been doing this. Did I get any super chats? No. Okay. Eric Kavanaugh. I will take him up on his offer, Excalibur. So thank you. I meant to talk to him, but I was suspended. So that was that. But here we go. We're getting into the fun stuff. I'm not a lawyer, but This is always a good legal analysis.
Hmm.
I'm not a lawyer, but our legal scholar is about to chime in. From
I'm
reading
not a
the
heart
settlement,
surgeon.
it seems that the court threw out 4 or 5 allegations made by the racist gentleman. I guess I can sue this guy now too. Author of whatever. Bram Stoker Award winner. There you go. I got to quote tweet this guy. It's too fun. What should I say? You should apologize for libeling me a racist when we just won a lawsuit stating the opposite. I'd recommend taking down this tweet. Smiley face.
There you go.
All right. Wow, this is such a bad move. I love this. This is from Worldcon. It means they'll never be safe for me to go to a Worldcon, and he doesn't even target me for my race. Wait a minute. What? Just for the nebs. What the heck is going on over there? Who is this that I quote target? Here. Hope you're not eating lunch, people. I hope you're not eating lunch.
They were warned already.
Okay. Wow. So this person like has some weird fetish where I'm quote targeting her. Is this a her? I guess. Oh, she, her. She, her. Okay. We're good. We're safe.
We can't trust that.
We're marked safe. Producer, Sifwa Nebula Awards show. Oh, wow. Someone special. They're all such special snowflakes. What the heck is going on over there? Let's quote tweet this lady if I'm not blocked. Let's see if I'm blocked. Oh, I'm blocked. So she'll talk shit about me, but I'm blocked. Then there's all these whiny people. Oh well. Jennifer Uden is going to be in. So she's going to be in Worldcon. She actually looks like a normal person. So I won't be mean to her. I look forward to Worldcon. Blah blah blah.
Nice shirt. Really?
Who?
That shirt.
That lady. Alexander Haleen. Thank you, Alexander. You rock.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Why isn't he here?
This is actually my favorite. So here's the quote tweet of Paul's deal. For fuck's sake. She literally can't even. This is Queen of Rats, Alex Brown, Tor.com and Locus Reviewer. Genderqueer, ace, arrow, biracial, black, they, them. I called her she. I apologize, Alex, for calling you she when I should have called you they, them. I apologize for that. Worldcon is about to get even less safe for marginalized people. There you go.
That's the insane thing with these people. They've always got to pretend they're the underdog fighting the man.
Why are they so scared? Like, I could step into a room and this lady would just have a I'm sorry, not lady. This they, them, ace, arrow, genderqueer would have a absolute heart attack. And I wouldn't even look at they, them, ace, arrow, genderqueer because I have better things to look at. You know, with my time on this earth.
Controls every branch of government and except for half of one. So they control 2.5 branches of government. Well, I suppose, I don't know, the Senate is a toss up, but like half the Supreme Court pretty much is all they don't have.
Yes.
They have every major corporation.
Yes.
They can get people like us exiled, like sentenced to internal economic exile on a whim.
I was suspended for Twitter for 7 days, right as I'm releasing a brand new book, which is in the description below, by the Drag Queen today.
Nice transition.
But 7 days because I posted a meme that was making fun of Pride Month, which is just some shitty corporate initiative. So, yeah, I should be the one that's scared. It's not safe for me, Alex Brown. They, them. That was the whole point of this. That's the whole point about Worldcon. Like this only existed because I was trying to get a bunch of the bros to go to Worldcon, including you, so we could hang out. And then a bunch of the bros backed out and said, nah, it's not safe out there these days. Because Richard Meyer was getting harassed at, I think it was Baltimore Comic Con. Remember Mark Wade? Do you guys remember this? Mark Wade like posted this big long rant on Facebook. Bring Richard Meyer to me. If you see him at any panels, I want him. You could pull me off the panel and I want him brought to me. Mark Wade was like throwing a disaster fit. He was going to just get in Richard Meyer's face. And then I uncovered as a journalist, because I'm such a great journalist also, the fact that all these tweets were existent from all these professionals in there that were talking about throwing punches at him and trying to pop him one at the con, things like that. And they were trying to like trigger his PTSD because he's a soldier, is what they said. And that's my uncovering that started a little hashtag called Comicsgate. But
well, so you
once everybody knew that wasn't
pass.
safe, I emailed Worldcon. I said, it's not safe for conservatives at conventions. Are you guys going to provide security for us? What's going to happen? And they never responded. So that's really what led to all this. It wasn't safe for me. I don't believe Alex Brown has ever been threatened at a convention in her, them's life, or anybody's even looking at them. I think them might be self-conscious. That's why they've got this whole them complex. But they don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's like. That JDA be added as a diversity enforcement officer, especially, but it's still bad. Yeah, it would have been fun if I was. It would have been fun.
Oh, it would have been right.
Fine. How is it is this in respect to emotional trauma? This guy's funny. Or physical safety? I don't see any evidence of physical threats from JDA. Indeed, the only physical threats have gone the other way. This is true. The only physical threats have been against me, trying to harm me. Oh, my people found this. I think I already made fun of this somewhere. Oh well.
Leave no stone unturned.
Yep. It's okay. I'm so giddy this week. I'm just gonna make fun of this stuff over and over and over again because it's so great.
Drink it in.
It'll get old by next week, guys. So we'll have some new drama or something. Somebody in Comicsgate will fight somebody else in Comicsgate. We'll have something else to talk about. Right? I know everyone literally forgets what Comicsgate was. Yes. So the timeline of Comicsgate, which is super important to all this, was that I wrote a blog about Marvel Comics, and then Bleeding Cool harassed me over it, and then wrote this whole thing about how not to get a job at Marvel Comics, because I pointed out that every Marvel Comics writer was writing anti-conservative left-wing talking points on their Twitter. There wasn't even one silent one at all. Every single one was just knocking half the country, which is not good for my brand if you're going to be a brand, you'd think. But Bleeding Cool knocked me. I got a bunch of harassment and death threats because of that. And then the Federalist picked me up. So I wrote it into a nice article and I showed how the comic industry was collapsing on the Federalist. That blew up and people started paying attention to comics because of that on the Federalist. It had more than 3 million views on it. Biggest thing I ever wrote. I got on national syndicated radio. I was on the Hugh Hewitt show. You guys remember that guy? I like him. And I talked about all this comic stuff. Now, later, as this kept going, I kept breaking more and more comic stories. And I mentioned the Richard Meyer stuff as he was being harassed by Mark Wade at Baltimore Comic Con. And then a bunch of industry professionals were trying to threaten him in a private Facebook group and trying to conspire to get this guy arrested, basically, because they didn't like that he was making YouTube videos about their comic books. And he's just reviewing their comic books. Kind of a stupid thing. I always thought it was stupid because I'm like, why would you buy these people's comic books every week? They hate you. It's like you should not give money to people who hate you or something. How, Brian?
Almost. I will point out that Rich Johnston is a confirmed witch. I tested him and he failed.
Rich Johnson is a confirmed. Oh, from Bleeding Cool. Interesting.
Yeah,
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Let me see if I can link you to where he did.
That would be great. I definitely would like to shame the witch, Rich Johnston.
As so, right and just.
But that was that. So I took that and I made a nice. At the time, there was a streaming service called Periscope, which is dead on the internet now. But I got I've made this video about what was happening with Richard C. Meyer, and I got 10, 15,000 views on it. And Megan Fox from PJ Media, who I did not know at the time, was like watching my work on this. I gave her all the information on the private Facebook group, and she wrote up an article about how it was not safe for conservatives to go to conventions and how Richard C. Meyer was being harassed. And then she asked me, hey, this is kind of big. Should we make a hashtag with this and kind of spread the word of it? And I said, yes. And then we came up with Comicsgate, because it's a gate. So this is how gates work, people. There's a scandal, like this is Watergate, right? There's a scandal, it gets uncovered by the media and reported, and then it becomes a gate. And that is what happened. There was a scandal of the comic book industry professionals threatening Richard C. Meyer, Diversity in Comics, or ya boy Zach, or Comics Matter with your boy Zach these days, because that's another story. And then we came out with Comicsgate. That was the whole deal. So it really went crazy from there, because of course PJ Media made it go viral, Instapundit, etc. And then everybody kind of jumped on board with that. So that's how Comicsgate started. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Fascinating. That is important. I didn't even know all that.
I know. No, nobody does, because nobody talks about it. But that was those were fun times back in the day. So
then what happened to it? How did public perception of the history of Comicsgate get muddled?
So that was 2017. And that started to be used. And the first crowdfund, the first Comicsgate crowdfund, was a little book called Alt Hero. And Alt Hero is by my good friend Vox Day. And it made over $250,000 in 2017. This is not 2018 when everybody else started crowdfunding. This is 2017, the year before. The hashtag started getting used with Alt Hero in conjunction with this Richard C. Meyer incident, because Alt Hero was going to be the alternative to these mainstream people. And so we started using the hashtag, hey, if with Comicsgate going on, back Alt Hero. And then that sort of like got tied to crowdfunding a little bit. Around that time, a lot of other people started jumping in, including my good friend Ethan Van Sciver, including other people, and saw that this is going to be a profitable business model and going to be something where we can actually build something and create a real alternative to the industry. And so we all, with Vox Day's lead, taking the lead on the first one, then went, and he paved the way for all of us to then go make our books. And by the time 2018 came around, we were using the hashtag Comicsgate in conjunction with all of our books. So, and this was, again, the next year. So, and that was that we like to call that the Comicsgate Summer of Love, when we were all streaming together, all having fun together, all winning together. And we did, we all made it, and we all made our books, and we all made wonderful alternatives towards the shit that Marvel and DC came out with, and we're continuing to do so to this day. So that's kind of how it morphed, and it's had its ups and downs, as movements often do. But right now, I think we're in a sort of resurgence, in a second golden age, where we are doing wonderfully. I know Ethan is about to launch his Cyberfrog action figures, and they look phenomenal. He's really put a ton into those. So, good for him. He's making it to the next level.
By the way, I did put the link.
I hope we do.
I put the
private chats. We're gonna shame some Rich Johnston here.
Yeah, it's in our chat.
I got it. That turd. JDA OnlyFans when? I don't know. I do have pretty nice legs, Mike. I can show you my feet real quick. I'm not wearing any shoes right now. You want to see my feet, Brian?
No.
Okay. Well, Brian said no, so I can't.
But I just won't look.
Nasser says Summer of Love. Hey, Nasser, by the way, Nasser's got a great book out right now too. Secret Comics Presents on Indiegogo. And he was part of the Summer of Love with the original crew out there, and he's been with us the entire way. And Nasser's been my bro the entire freaking way. So love Nasser. All right, let's look at our good friend Rich Johnston. head writer of Bleeding Cool, father of two, and of course, he, him. I couldn't tell. He looks kind of they, them from this emoji, I would say.
And he was
You
a bit
can't-
ahead of the curve. That's from 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, there's me. Wow. So yeah, Rich Johnson harasses me all the time. Apparently, you can't be Christian left wing, though. All that stuff about rich men not getting into heaven, caring for the poor was just a lot of typos. And I say, of course, as El Campeador, which is something I go by sometimes. Isn't it great when anti-Christian gamma males, well, actually, with Bible lessons on Twitter.com? I really hate that more than anything when atheists go off on quote Bible verses. When of course they never even quote real verses, they just kind of spout. And here we go.
Well, see, I know the Bible better than any of you backward Bronze Age savages. I know your Stone Age fairy tale better than you do.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh,
Dad, you know better than me. Let's just say that
Nasser was a thing.
Yeah.
Kicking Nasser was fun. I actually never got involved in that. See, I'm actually not really into like the negative advertising thing. So a lot of people in our conservative soul, we always go with like it's wrong think or whatever when we're talking about our deal. Well, it's not wrong think. It's just that the corporate says it's wrong, but it's actually right think. And so I never liked that negative branding because you're allowing yourself to say I am actually the negative, even if it's sarcastic or whatever. It just paints a bad picture, I think. And so I actually don't even like Vox's like Supreme Dark Lord, Evil Legion of Evil, whatever it is, as much as it is, because it's like we're not the dark, we are the light. We're the goodness that's being shined upon the industry. So I want to brand myself that. That's why I go by El Campeador and things like that, because those are positive reinforcing. The number one Hispanic voice in science fiction, right? It's like those are positive reinforcements. We already have enough negative reinforcements. We don't need to amplify that rhetoric, even if it's in a sarcastic thing. So Kick Nasser was just saying, hey, Nasser's this like little tool to be kicked around because he's a dork, which you are a dork, Nasser. I love you. But I didn't like that because it's just like it felt like actual bullying. I don't know. And I think some people, I think even though most of us did have it in fun, and I know Nasser, you really ran with it and had fun with it. It just like it was a little too much. I don't know. Some people actually went with it. That's why you got to do positive branding. There's my little rant. I'm sorry. I do those.
All right. Well, soon you're going to see exactly how
this is the best.
Deal with these bad faith actors. So continue.
I will play Rich, and you will play you.
Okay.
Why on earth do you think I am anti-Christian? When have I ever given you that impression, and how?
Confess that Jesus is the Christ, and God has raised him from the dead.
Here's the dude. It's obvious what Rich Johnson is doing here. He's an atheist liberal, of course, and he is using his sophistry to redefine Christianity and conservatism as their polar opposites, so he can then claim he's not attacking Christians and conservatives because he approves his own constructs. Absolute nonsense. Why on earth would you think I was an atheist?
Then you should have no trouble confessing that Jesus Christ is Lord and he is risen.
Come on, Rich Johnson, prove us wrong. You don't even have to believe it. Just say the words. I don't owe my confession to anyone else but God, and you should consider what it means that this is the response made to someone who says they are not anti-Christian. By the way, he does not say he is Christian anywhere in this.
Yeah, so, but I love John Mullis. Yeah. Caddyshack. Yeah.
I love that. Is a great little deal.
So, well, we were waiting.
We're waiting. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was very obvious what he's doing here. Rich never acts in anything other than a disingenuous position because he's just trying to get clickbait shit for his website.
Yeah, so that's a witch test fail.
Yeah,
right there. And I was generous. I gave him 3 chances. Now I give 1. Now if the first reply to the command is not the confession, declare, sorry, you are a witch. You have forfeited all moral authority in the West, which is a Christian civilization, and you are blocked for witchery, and then I block. And they're dead to me. Dead.
Yes, so, block all witches, everybody.
There's no point in talking to them.
There's no point in talking to witches.
You've proven they argue in bad faith once they fail the test. So that and other actionable tips for you're taking the culture and taking back your dignity are in Don't Give Money to People Who Hate You, where I explain the witch test step by step.
which is down in the description below. If you have not bought it already, which you probably have if you've been here for a while, because Brian's been on a few times. I put it in the chat too, just to make it handy for everybody.
Thank you.
And I think that's about that. I mean, like Worldcon is about to get less safe for marginalized people. Is really the pinnacle of all the tweets. I mean, I can't find a funnier tweet than this by Alex Brown, Queen of Rats, they, them, genderqueer, ace, arrow, biracial, black. So there you go. I think that's everything. We've been here for an hour and a half, so that's a good stream right there.
Yeah, I think Nasser is saying he's about to go live.
Yeah, so and we'll let Nasser have his time in the sun with Soy Rage there, have some fun. And by the way, I've got the Dryad Queen out. Again, this is if you guys want to support culture that's not Antifa Captain America, just like this, you want something different. The Dryad Queen is the book for you. It's by me and Morgan Newquist. Morgan gets half the money from it. If you want to support Morgan even more than me, I get it. She's a lot prettier than I am, for one. And number two, she's probably nicer than I am too. Definitely nicer than I am. Definitely nicer than I am. So we both put 50-50 into this, so it really works out. And I think we have a beautiful fantasy world we're starting. We have a trilogy planned at least. And we'll see how it goes from there. I would love for you guys to check this out and read this. This is a book, not a comic book, just as a reminder for people who actually still are literate in our society these days. They still exist. And we are going back. We're taking back classic fantasy. It's always been a dream of mine ever since I discovered Jeffro Johnson's Appendix N, that we take back fantasy and turn fantasy into a nice Christian sort of genre like it used to be. And it did used to be. It wasn't just Tolkien, everybody. It's all that gets talked about. But fantasy was all about allegorical Christian themes, and we have that in here for you. So that's it. Thanks for coming on, Brian. I'm sorry I talked over you the whole time.
Oh no, it was entertaining.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
I'm in like my high elation mode. You know, I can't stop right now.
Oh,
so
El Campeador.
All right. Thanks, brother. Yeah, definitely support Brian, support Nasser, support me. Let's win the culture war, and let's end these SJWs and their tyranny they want to inflict upon us all. Good day.